Thank you for watching Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. My name is Laura Wilson, showing you ways to modify exercise so everyone can live their best life. Today we're going to do 30 minutes of strength building yoga. So be prepared. This is a slightly more advanced level, but of course I will have modifications for those of you who aren't as into it or as regularly practiced as others. All right, so we are going to look at building strength in our legs, our upper body, and our core, of course. Make sure you have that nice safe space to work out in. No equipment is necessary other than your mat or a nice carpeted floor that you don't slip on. While you're getting ready, just a reminder to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you like the video, and let me know in the comments if you like strength building yoga, or if you prefer more flexibility focused, or more upper lower body. Just kind of let me know so that I can plan my future videos. Let's go ahead and we'll begin seated with our basic warm-up, checking in with our body first. As always, finding that deep breath. Now as we begin, we can breathe through our nose, but as we get moving here in just a moment, we're going to need to start breathing through our mouth. So just getting in touch with our breath for a moment. And as we begin our spinal warm up, let's inhale, reaching up, exhale, hinging back. So inhale up, exhale back. This is going to feel like a boat post. Let's do one more like that. And then we'll take hands to our knees. Inhale up, exhale, rolling forward, rolling through our spine. So let's bring this up tall, and we're going to go back to that boat-like action. Exhaling, hinging back. So this time, as we begin to feel it, we can lift one or both feet. Feel free to mix that up. And let's come back here, and we're going to move side to side. I'm going to stay turning this way for a moment. We just want to give our spine a full, complete warm-up with forward and back movement side to side. And we'll add some twists in a moment. Transverse abdominis with our boats. Let's come back here, inhale up, exhale, hinging back. With or without lifting our feet, let's just take this side to side, adding that twist, keeping our spine long. And let's come here, straighten our legs, and fold forward. Lifting up, let's come around to our hands and knees. And we're going to undulate through our spine again, a bit more this time. Exhaling to cat, inhale, cow. And from our neutral position, let's turn our elbow creases forward and just go through some push-up movement here. Pressing back to our child's pose. So we're going to start on our knees, walking our hands forward, separating them shoulder distant. Let's just inhale forward to a plank, exhaling back to child's pose 3 times. Taking a deep breath here. And then we're going to follow our breath as we come forward. Lower down, exhale. Inhale, push up. Exhaling back. So let's do 3 like this. pressing ourselves back. And we can always stay in our child's pose, or we can look at our downward facing dog for now. And let's flow again. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale back to child's pose. Doing it just as we did before if we're in child's pose, doing this on our knees. Back to our pose. Now let's bring this forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, back 3 times. And we can still do this on our knees. Whichever way you want to do it. And we're going to walk this up into our forward fold, making our way up to our mountain. And let's take it into a chair flow. Exhale, shifting our hips back. Inhale up, exhale, rolling back through our shoulders. Starting to feel that strength in our legs. Now let's bring it up this time. And we're going to move side to side. I'll face you this time. And just an easy twist side to side. Arms heavy. One more each way. And let's step out, turn sideways on the mat. We're going to step out and drop ourselves into a squat. And let's just do a little pulse right here. And then we'll bring it up and make it bigger. Inhaling up, exhaling down. So let's bring it up from here, turn our toes forward, and take a wide leg forward fold. Coming back up, let's walk our feet in just a little bit. We'll keep our toes pointing forward this time. We're going to take it to that squat as deep as you want to go. As we come up, we're going to come up onto the toes of one foot and then the other, or we can actually lift. So really feeling that strength in our legs, working through our core to keep ourselves stable, and of course, finding balance. We can increase that by holding that pause on each leg. Remember, we can still do this with our toes down. One more each side. Now let's come on down as deep as we can go. So some of us are going to make it here. Some of us will make it here. Some of us might make it here. So just kind of finding what works for you. And then we'll bring this up. And let's bring it in, circling our hips. Both ways. Now let's go ahead and step out wide on our mat again. We're going to come into Warrior 2 from here, turning our right toes out. So our legs are going to get some isometric or still contractions. Let's think about drawing them in toward each other, activating the inner thighs, our calves, feeling that action draw up through our core as we reverse our warrior, pressing down through our right hip. And we're going to bring our right forearm to our thigh, coming to our side angle. Remember, we have variations with our arms here. Now let's reverse warrior. And we're going to flow here. Inhale here, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. So getting some oblique action, working through our shoulders. Let's take this and hold reverse warrior. And we're going to straighten our front leg, reach for the wall. And let's just take a rest in our triangle. Finding a place where we can breathe, maybe through our mouth at this point. Bringing this back up, let's turn it forward and then over to the left. And again, think about drawing our feet in toward each other like you're going to squeeze the floor together. Activate our thigh muscles, our leg muscles. Flipping to reverse warrior. And then finding that variation of side angle that works for us. This is me. Coming back to reverse warrior. Taking it to our flow on this side. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Any variation on arms. Holding our reverse warrior. Let's straighten our leg, reach for the wall, and just take that moment in triangle. Bring this back up, turning forward. Let's take our feet a little wider, or to your own comfort level, and let's find that forward fold again. And if we can take our hands to the floor, if our legs are wide enough, we can take our hands to the floor. If not, use a block. And we're going to shift ourselves side to side. So really working through, our hands are here just to stabilize us. In fact, some of us might even take our hands to our legs. Working through our thighs. Building strength in our legs. Let's come to the center, hinge forward again, stretch. Head relaxing forward. Let's walk our feet in a little bit. Hinging our way up. Walking it in again. Till we're at hip distance. Let's rock forward and back. Toes and heels. Really getting up on our toes. Back on our heels, but not too far back. Now let's just do a little inner and outer edge. I like to work the whole body every time I do something. And let's just do some balance right here. We'll just stick with our tree pose, turning one knee out. Get near a wall if you need to. Keep your toes down. Or slide it up. Find your focus. Finding our core. Let's bring this down, shift to the other side. Arms wherever you need them for your own balance. They can be holding the wall. And let's release from here. We'll come to the top edge of our mat. So we've hit the lower body and legs pretty hard. Let's inhale up, exhale forward fold. And let's come to our hands and knees for a moment. And we're going to do a thread the needle flow, but one side at a time. This is going to work our upper back and shoulder, as well as our core in a twisting fashion. So think about coming at this from our core, navel pulling up under our ribs. We're going to inhale up, exhale under. So if we can get low enough to tap our shoulder, great. Use the core, inhale up, exhale under. So this action and movement of our arm works our rhomboids, trapezius, rear delts. The other arm is getting some push-up action in the, let's come back to center. Take a little break as you need to. Child's pose or sitting up. So we were working the back of this arm while working the biceps and triceps in a push-up action on this one while engaging our core to control all of that movement. So let's come back here and we'll do the other side. Inhale up, exhale under. And if you only come to the elbow, that's fine. But keeping all of our weight in our core to protect our shoulders as we do this. Lowering down and pushing up with our left arm. All right, and let's come back here. And child's pose, or maybe downward dog if we're feeling it. Let's come forward and lower onto our belly. Shrugging our shoulder blades to our hips. We'll keep our hands underneath our shoulders, hovering over the floor. And let's lift, finding our cobra. Using just that strength in our lower back. Let's lower down from here to crocodile. Releasing through our glutes. And this time imagine somebody has taken hold of your ankles and is going to drag you across the floor, lifting up and back. Breathing. And let's release all of that, several deep breaths. And we'll check in with our locust. This is going to be lifting our upper and lower body, feet, and fingers reaching back, crown of our head forward, nose to the floor. We want our spine completely neutral. Releasing from here. And we'll press this up and have a seat. And we'll stay facing long ways on our mat. Because we're going to revisit our boats. We're going to look at 3 variations, and 2 of them are pretty intense. The first one, even though our feet are going to stay on the floor, I find it pretty intense. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up on our sit bones, tilt our hips forward, and bring our legs together, squeezing our knees into each other. Think about lifting our heart to the ceiling as we hinge our upper body back. Both feet staying on the floor. We get to that shaky part. And to me, this is just as intense as having our feet off the floor. You can let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. And let's lift up. Soles of our feet together or legs out wide, depending on how our knees feel. And let's just let our inner thighs go here. Stretching them out. If we were squeezing them into each other, that should have been engaging those inner thigh muscles. So the stretch should feel relieving. And let's lift up. We're going to look at our second variation. So again, tilting our hips forward, squeezing our knees together. Let's hinge back and lift one leg. We can always keep holding on here or letting go. We can straighten that leg out. And again, if we're squeezing our thighs together, lifting through our heart, this can be pretty challenging on its own. Let's release. Legs out wide, our soles of the feet together, knees wide. And breathe. When we're holding things like this, our heart rate tends to go up. Make sure that you're breathing while we're holding this. I know it's hard. So if you liked either of those versions, if you want to just lift your other leg this time, go for it. Hips forward, chest to the ceiling. This time we might lift both, or you could have been doing that all 3 times. So if you watch the video again, remember that. Holding on and letting go, straightening out. Lots of variations once we get to here. And let's release. This time we will take our legs out wide and release. So we always want to stretch out whenever we work to bring balance to our body. So we've worked our legs a lot. Let's go ahead and hinge out over one of them. Hopefully we're feeling our core at this point. Walking out over the other. Coming back to the center, let's lift up. And I'll go ahead and face forward for you. We're just going to take a side bend. So let's do this with our legs out straight. I'm going over to my right. But if you're mirroring me, you're going to your left. We're going to lift up, bring this leg in. Stay to that same side and just notice how this feels compared to the long leg. Let's bring both legs out again. We're going to side stretch the other way. Coming up, bringing this leg in, side stretch the same way. And let's lift up from here. We're going to roll on down to the floor. Bring our hands and feet to the floor. Let's press up and find our bridge. So from here we can drop and lift our hips. So this is working our core and our glutes. Let's press up really high and hold. Lowering down, hugging in our knees. Let's take our arms out wide. We're going to work our core here, squeezing our knees together. Let's lower all the way over to one side and let our knees hover in the air. Feeling those obliques kick in. Breathing. Let's come back up to the center. And we'll do this on the other side. Hover and breathe. Coming back up. And let's bring this down. Hands by our side. We'll take it to our bridge and hold. Breathing as deeply as we can. Lowering down, let's hug our knees in. This time we're going to move with it. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, you can come all the way over this time because we're going to inhale right back up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up. Keeping our knees squeezing together. Let's come back to center. Let our knees open, soles of our feet together. Reaching our arms up to the ceiling and overhead. Coming into pond gesture with our arms slightly bent. Noticing our heart rate. Let's bring this back up, hug it in. We're going to drop our knees all the way over to one side and hold. Let's bring this up. We're going to go to the other side and hold. Maybe get there. Ooh, there we go. Let's bring this up, extending our legs to the ceiling. We're going to take that figure four stretch. Hugging our knee in closer than our foot. Releasing and switching sides. And let's release from here, shake everything out. We're going to take a moment in Shavasana. Just checking in with our body. So let's see how our legs are feeling at this moment. How is our core? Everything from our hips to our shoulders, our chest, back, butt. How are our arms and hands feeling? And how about our neck, head, and face? So let's just allow everything to be still for a moment. Balancing out all that action. And if you get into the zone, feel free to pause the video. Hit play again when you're ready to come out. And when we're ready, we'll wiggle our fingers and toes and everything else. Let's bring this over to one side. And depending on how long you were there, you want to take longer here. We can come up to an easy seat. Back to where we started. Getting back in touch with our breath. And again, just noticing how our body feels. Please let me know in the comments if you're feeling any stronger from having done this. Feel free to do the video a few times. Since we're doing our own body weight, you can probably do this once a day. It's when we use weights and overtax our muscles that we want to give ourselves a couple of days break. Body weight, we're okay though. So let me know in the comments if you like these kind of videos, answer any of the questions I had throughout the video. Please do me a favor and ask your friends to subscribe to my channel, and just a reminder to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time.